Hello everybody and welcome to the Import-Export Hub channel. Bogdan here, your host for the next couple of minutes, and without further ado, allow me to recommend you 5 products that from my personal point of view are worth considering exporting towards Vietnam. And as usual, I've managed to get my hands on some useful data, at least I hope so, in order to see together the main trading partners and of course the imported values. So let's start with my first product recommendation, which is paper or paperboard waste and scrap. So we're talking about HS code 4707, and we see that in 2020 Vietnam's imports were up more than 12% compared with the 2019 figures, bringing the total imported value to more than $457 million, with the United States, Japan, and the United Kingdom the biggest trading partners. But of course, there are other important exporters towards Vietnam, like, I don't know, the Netherlands, Italy, or Spain, just to name a few from this top 10 list. As we can see here together, we have a nice upward trend from 2016 onwards. And my personal guess is that there is still room for increase, especially if China, who is the biggest importer in the world, will continue its relatively new policy regarding the rationalization of energy consumption, somehow forcing the exporters to redirect some of their shipments to other big importers in the world, like, I don't know, India, Germany, Indonesia, and of course Vietnam. Also, in this context and factoring in the increased freight rates, Vietnam, at least for the short term, will be a very attractive market to export, especially for the exporters based in Japan, South Korea, and the United States. Now, relative to the year-on-year changes, the United States, which is also the biggest exporter towards Vietnam, Italy, France, and Spain all had contractions, especially Italy and Spain, if you ask me, while Japan, the United Kingdom, Australia, and Canada all had positive changes ranging from 6 to 114%, as in the case here with the United Kingdom. Relative to the main drivers, as expected, recovered waste and scrap paper or paperboard are the main ones for both the United States and France. Now, moving on to my second recommendation, which is other nuts, so HS code 0802, we see that also for this category of products, the trend is going upwards with a boom of imports from 2018 onwards. And I suspect that also this category will continue with its upward trend in the years to come. And we basically see that in 2020, the total imported value was around $230 million, with the United States, Australia, and South Africa the biggest trading partners. But there are other important ones like, I don't know, Chile, Kenya, Turkey, or Mozambique, just to name a few from these top 10 trading partners. Overall, the year-on-year imports were up with more than 16%, with big positive changes in relation with the United States, South Africa, Kenya, Thailand, and Turkey. But there were also a couple of negative changes in this top 10 list, as in the case here with Australia, Chile, China, and Mozambique. As for the main products driving Vietnam's imports from this category, we have HS code 080262, so fresh or dried macadamia nuts shelled, as in the case with South Africa, and HS code 080222, so fresh or dried hazelnuts or filberts, again shelled, as in the case with Turkey, which is by far the biggest exporter of hazelnuts in the world. And with this being said, I will move on to my third product recommendation, which is rough wood, so HS code 4403. And we see that in 2020, the total imported value was close to $397 million, with Cameroon, the United States, and France representing the top 3 trading partners, which combined all these three partners have almost 53% share in Vietnam's total imports. But of course there are other important exporters towards Vietnam like Germany, Nigeria, Australia or Ghana, again limiting myself to these top 10 trading partners. In terms of year-on-year changes, unfortunately the imports, who are primarily needed for the important and export-oriented furniture industry of Vietnam, were down almost 15% compared with the 2019 figures, and almost 40% down if we compare with 2017, which is the year that the imports peaked. Now, relative to the year-on-year changes, except with the United States, Australia, Brazil, and Uruguay, who all had positive changes, with the rest of the trading partners, we have a decrease in the exports towards Vietnam, ranging from, I don't know, -2% to almost -33%, as in the case here with Congo. As for the main drivers, we have HS code 440399 driving most of Vietnam's imports from Cameroon, and HS code 440398, so eucalyptus wood, driving most of Vietnam imports both from Australia and Uruguay. And with this section being covered, I'll move on to my fourth recommendation, which is again related to waste and scrap, but this time I'm talking about aluminium waste and scrap. And for 2020, Vietnam imported close to $108 million, which is 47% more than the figures from 2019. Confirming the upward trend for the imports from 2017 onwards. And I bet that this is just the beginning, as Vietnam is focusing more and more its growth on industrial production that, guess what, need inputs like aluminium. Now, relative to the biggest trading partners, the United States is the biggest one with 23% share in Vietnam's imports from this category. Followed by Japan, and we have on the third place Taiwan with $10 million worth of exports towards Vietnam, who is the only country in this top 10 list who had its exports shrunk with almost 16%, while the rest of the trading partners had big positive changes ranging from 25%, as in the case with Malaysia, to 414%, as in the case here with Belgium. As for the main drivers, no brainer here, we have aluminium waste and scrap, so HS code 760200, driving most of Japan and UK exports towards Vietnam. And guys, with this being said, bear with me a little bit more as I will finish this video with my fifth and last recommendation, which is coming from HS code 1302, so vegetable saps and extracts, pectic substances, and so on. And we see that for 2020 the imported value was close to $69.3 million, with China, the United States, and Italy representing the top 3 trading partners. But there are others like, I don't know, Germany, Denmark, or India, again just limiting myself to these top 10 trading partners. In terms of year-on-year changes, the overall imports contracted with almost 1%, with negative changes in relation with the United States, Germany, and Brazil. While with the rest of the trading partners from this top 10 list, we have positive changes ranging from, I don't know, 8%, as in the case with India, to almost 80%, 90%, sorry, as in the case with both Italy and Denmark. As for the main drivers from this category, I have 2 examples here, and we have HS code 130239 driving most of Vietnam's imports from China, and HS code 130231, so Agar-agar, driving most of Vietnam's imports from Italy. And with this being said, guys, I've covered the 5 products that I've wanted to recommend to you. I really hope that you've enjoyed. Don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe buttons, and as usual, until next time, keep your business safe. Thanks.